Aloha, my beautiful friends and family out there in the online world. Greetings from the forest, from nature. How are you all doing out there? So, I know for myself personally, July till now has been a big push, a big squeeze, like an energetic, transformational activation time. And we are approaching an eclipse October 25th, which is this coming Tuesday. I'm going to be doing a live event with my students. I may get permission to invite outside people to attend. We'll see. But the new moon and the eclipse is happening this October 25th. So if you're feeling anything arising, any intensity, we all know that eclipses are powerful activation times that for thousands of years our ancestors had varying degrees of different responses, some seeing it as a very negative omen, some seeing it as a positive omen. Nonetheless, I would say that most of us would agree that it is a potent astrological event that does have a powerful physiological, emotional, psychological effect on our emotions, our mental thinking, and our energy, right? Because at the truest, most basic reality, we are all energy, frequency, and vibration. And so if we envision and realize that all the planetary bodies, including the sun and the moon, are also vibrational beings that exude a frequency, then whatever their dance is going to affect our physiology, our emotionality, our mentality on a certain level. Of course, the biggest gift that we will ever give ourselves is learning how to create that solid, grounded center in ourselves that can just live through, transform, embrace, embody, and move with the flow of energy and stay yet grounded and focused in our own beautiful, beautiful selves. So if you're curious about this eclipse, what is an eclipse, first of all, and why and how might it be affecting us? First of all, there are 4 eclipses per year. They call them bookends. There is one that happens in April, May. I'm sorry, 2 that happen in April, May, and 2 that happen October, November. And so we have a 6-month period between these 4 eclipses that happen. It's a very powerful time. In Western astrology, most people are saying that the eclipses are going to be in Libra. However, this new moon in the True the Stars Sidereal astrology, 13 sign astrology that I utilize, that has been the most effective, accurate system on the face of the planet in terms of my client success rating of finding the information about who they are and their direction in life and what's happening. I use that system. And in that system, which is accurate to what is actually happening in the sky, the location that the stars are actually located in, this eclipse is going to be in Sidereal Virgo. And Virgo, again, is a sign very much devoted to health, very much devoted to healing, very much devoted to clarity, grounding, building things from a very strong, clear perspective. And so that's a little different than what mainstream astrology is saying. So on Tuesday, October 25th, we're going to have this eclipse, and it's a solar eclipse, which means it's a new moon and an eclipse happening at the same time. Very powerful. And any of you who've watched my work before, you're very familiar with the idea that new moons are a time that we set intentions. We get connected to our purpose, our vision, the seed of our heart that wishes to be planted for the next 2 weeks to the full moon. So that then in that 2-week time, we can plant the seed, we can water it, we can tend to it, we can allow the germination and the fruition of our vision to come to be. With an eclipse, especially a solar eclipse on a new moon, this seed becomes especially more powerful and potent for manifesting, creating our desires for not only the next 2 weeks, but actually for the next 6 months until the next eclipse in April and May. So right now, I really invite all of you out there to start getting into the dream world of your vision for the next 6 months of your life, because this is a powerful, potent astrological window to get clear on it, especially in all areas related to your health, related to healing, related to your rhythm, your schedule, when you do certain things during the day. Additionally, there's another aspect that's happening, which is that Venus, the planet of love and relationship, is going to be sandwiched between the sun and the moon on the new moon. So love, Venus is the planet most associated with love, is going to come into the equation. So what are the future goals you have for your love life, for the things that you love? That can be family, that can be money, that can be material things such as clothing and jewelry and other things of that nature. Additionally, this solar eclipse, this new moon, is going to be activating something called the South Node of in astrology. The South Node is a point between the sun and the moon that denotes, or is said to denote, our karmic destiny, right? Our purpose. The South Node is our past. And then there's the North Node, which is our future. And the South Node is going to be activated by the Sun and Moon conjunction on the new moon, October 25th. And so what that can mean is that while we simultaneously want to be creating the seed of our vision for the next 6 months of our life, it also means that anywhere and everywhere that we might still have past emotional relationship stuff, because the South Node is going to be in Libra, which is relationships, and Sun and Moon in Virgo, sandwiching Venus in the middle. This eclipse is set to bring up past relationship memories, past things related to justice, related to fairness, because Libra is the sign of justice and the sign of balance and the sign of liberty and freedom in a lot of ways. The big message that I want to get across is that Tuesday, October 25th is a very powerful activation day. I'm going to be doing a new moon activation study hall for my students. I'll ask them if they're open to having the public join us, in which case perhaps we'll have a bigger group that day. It'll be at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is a powerful, potent time. It's a potent time to clear and let go of anything that's coming up for you energetically. And trust me, it will, because the eclipses and the new moon times and the full moon times are very much like magnets that pull up to the surface things that are within us, that are ready to be released, to be transformed, to be re-engineered, re-evaluated, restructured into our highest, most beautiful beingness. And so I just want to invite you to get in touch with you right now and notice what is arising. Notice how you are feeling. Notice what is coming up for you in the beautiful grandness and depth of your being. And know that it's all an invitation for greater love, for greater acceptance, and for greater allowance of you. And that as these things come up to be transmuted and transformed and released and reincorporated and revisioned, we have such a gift of new vistas, new space, new awareness, new greater heights that we can travel to and rise to. And so I really see these big astrological events as opportunities for growth, and the growth of what is greater that I could open to, allow, and receive. What are the gifts in this that I can truly breathe in and allow in on a deeper level? And yet I also want to offer the compassion and love of, yeah, it can be a lot. Yeah, it can be a really lot. And so how can we have more compassion and more care for each other right now, for our own beings and our own self, for whatever may be arising, and love that which is arising more and more deeply. And so I see this astrology, these noticings of the cycles and seasons, the eclipse being one of those key things that happens 4 times a year, twice on the new moon, twice on the full moon. It's a pair, right? It starts, the first 2 start April and May. The solar eclipse is on the new moon. The lunar eclipse is on the full moon. And then we wait 6 months, and then we have another new moon solar eclipse and another full moon lunar eclipse. So this happens twice a year, that you have a pair of eclipses. The solar eclipse is all about usually setting new beginnings, new intentions. And the full moon is more about completion, letting go of the past. But this year, the solar eclipse on the new moon, October 25th, is going to be aspecting the south node of the moon, which is all about the past. So we have this interesting dynamic of both the timing being to set new intentions for the next 6 months, to get clear on our intention and really activate our visions. And yet at the same time, it's aspecting the south node of the moon, which is all about our past and where we've been and who we've been with and our relationships. And it's, to me, makes the whole thing even more of a complex, beautiful pattern. And yes, a bit more challenging, because the question becomes, well, what do I let go of? And what am I building? What am I releasing? And what am I creating? And so if we look by sign, the sun and moon and Venus will be in Virgo, which is all about what am I building in my health? What am I building in my service to the world? Virgo is all about service. What is the gift we have to give the earth? What is the work that we're here to do to uplift others, to help others, to heal others, to guide others? And also it can be about care. It can be about caring and healing for animals and for plants and for nature, because Virgo, if we look at it more deeply, is a sign connected to the goddess. It is connected to the mother. Another way of looking at Virgo is the goddess of nature, because she is the sustainer of all the growth and beauty that we see on this earth. And so a new moon eclipse on Virgo can be all about revisioning our connection to the earth mother within ourselves, nurturing, nourishment, form, matter, the earth, the bounty of the earth, plants and herbs and abundance of fruits and growing things and gardens. And how do we want to create that in our lives more and more in the next 6 months? And what do we want to release? What bad habits around health, around our eating, around nutrition, around exercise routines? This is a powerful time to be getting in touch with that. And then we have the South Node being in Libra, which is all about relationship. It is all about harmony and balance and us and we as opposed to I. But it's the South Node, which is related to the past. So it's asking us to look at, how have we shown up in relationships in the past? Who have we been in the past in relationship to other? And what would we like to rather be? Like, what would we rather be in relationship? How would we rather be being in relationship to other? So there's really a powerful time to get in touch with ourselves and our relationship to other and our relationship to our own health. And truly, many of us can relate that the health of a relationship is dependent completely, entirely on our own health, right? It takes 2 healthy individuals to create a healthy relationship. And so where can we create more health and flow in our own beingness so that we can show up in a more healthy, loving, harmonious way to the other, and thus create the relationships on this earth truly that will create the future of humanity that ideally will be one of balance and harmony and nutrition, right? Nourishment, harmony. So many things to think about. If you're curious to know how this eclipse with the sun and moon in Virgo and Venus right in between them might be affecting your personal chart, I was able to go through all of my students' charts over the weekend in class. I'm teaching a how to read your own True to the Stars astrology chart course right now. We're about halfway through. It's been absolutely amazing. I have the best group of students on the planet. So cool. So we went through all the charts to see what house, and in an astrology chart, the house relates to area of your life. And so in an astrology chart, there are 12 houses related to. The first house is identity. The fourth house is the home. The seventh house is relationship. The 10th house is career. And each house has a sign. So depending on what time you were born, that will determine the rising sign, which will determine what sign is on the house of that arena of your life. So where is the sun and moon in Virgo going to fall in your chart is going to determine what area of your life it's going to be affecting or stimulating or bringing to light. And I just had an absolutely incredible call with one of my students about where it's going to affect his chart, his life. And it was just so on point for him. And I know for me, it's been a really powerful tool to know, well, how are these astrological, these kind of, out of our conscious mind energies are going to be affecting us personally. And when we know that, when we have awareness with that, it gives us so much more power to do the work specifically on that arena or area of our life that is affecting us. And it is so helpful to clarify, wow, I'm feeling a lot of stuff, but what specifically and where specifically, and what can I do to ease it or transform it? And then I often will bring in energy work into my sessions, and we clear the negative or trapped emotions that got stuck in the past that are limiting our full expression, and we release it. And it's just so, so, so powerful. So if you would like to experience that, reach out to me. I'm happy to share more with you about the work that I do and the amazing success that a lot of my clients are having. And really, it's just fascinating to see, where is the eclipse affecting our charts? So if you're curious, you have questions, reach out. You can post in the comments below if you'd like to know, where is this eclipse affecting my chart? And we could maybe set up a session. So anyways, very exciting. Maybe I'll have to do another event here. I can get together some time for how is this eclipse affecting us personally. And oh my gosh, I just send so much love out to all of you because we're all in this together, right? We're all part of this beautiful tapestry of life that is connected. It's whole. It's one tapestry, and we're each a beautiful thread weaving its way through the art of this life. And so I want to send you all love and gratitude for your beingness and the role and the beautiful contribution that each of you are. And blessings for this eclipse. May it be in the highest and best for all of us. If you have any questions, how it may be affecting you, reach out. I'm happy to share. And I just send you so much love and greatest aloha.